Oh yeah, we're live, y'all. And just like that, we're back. I've been telling you guys I wanted to hang out with you guys for a while, react to some internet stuffs. You know what I mean? That's what we're gonna do today, dude. And I am comfy right now. Super comfy. It was kind of a cold one today in San Diego, where I'm at. So I'm inside. Usually you'll catch me outside, but right now I'm inside. But still kind of outside, if you know what I mean. If you know, you know. I'm trying to look for a lighter to light up this incense. Man, so settle in. I got some stuff up my sleeve. So we're not like totally unprepared. It's not like totally a freestyle, but it's kind of a freestyle today. I've been telling you guys that I'm gonna go live more, and that's what I'm doing. Get the incense burning. Got the comfy PlayStation hoodie on. No sponsorship. Oh, let me adjust this chair here. Dude, I have the worst chair too. I have the worst chair. Let's get a chair sponsor going. Eddie. You know? Shout out to OG HipHop Eddie. Manager extraordinaire. But if you guys want to join in on the conversation, that's always nice. We're live right now, unless you're catching this on the replay, and then you can kind of just join in on the conversation in your head, and we'll just all pretend like we heard you. And either way, it works for all of us. But we're chilling. Man, welcome to Chris Sees the Internet. If you guys don't know what this is, I am one part of the immaculate Invisible Panchos art piece collective hip hop group. We're artists at the core. We do a lot of things. Myself and my partners Gene Flo, OG Hip Hop Eddie. You might know them from different various things. You might not. But this is a good place for you to come in, get to know all of us right here on our YouTube. We're slowly building it inch by inch, but here's some important facts on our side. And this is like some observations, especially for people who are like building their YouTube. We all had different YouTube pages, and then we've built other YouTube pages. But this is the first time we're doing this kind of together. And we are by no means experts. Don't listen to us on this. But this is something I have noted. In the last month, we grew like over 100 subscribers. And the only thing that we did different than what we were doing before was just more consistency. So if it's something to think about, you know, something to think about. But it is what it is. We're chipping away at it, I think. I like it though. I like the challenge of figuring out and battling the algorithm as an artist that uses platforms, you know, to reach an audience that we might not be able to reach. Mostly because of budgetary issues, right? That would be it. Because if I could just afford to go to you guys and perform there, wherever you may be, we would just do that. So social media has kind of helped us out in that way. But for us who do use these social media things, there's a challenge to it, right? Obviously, because it's not fair. Fair's, I guess it just depends on how you see what fair is. I don't think it's really designed to be fair. Nothing like owned by somebody is gonna like usually work out to be fair for all of us. But yeah, you got to learn how to use it. And we're trying to use it in the most authentic way we can. And one of those ways is just getting on here and going live. I'm trying to encourage Gene to do it more too. I know he's working on some stuff because, dude, honestly, it's just a challenge. Sometimes you don't feel like, I'm not like a terribly social person. I'm not a social person. I was trying to give myself a little bit, but we're here to be honest with you guys. I am not a social person. So, having conversations in my head, working out things internally, that's something I'm really used to. Sharing that opinion with like our followers and people who support us. I understand why it's important in some cases, especially for people who really support the music and really want to know like the thoughts and minds behind the music. I know I'm one of those kind of fans, of the stuff that I like. I love knowing that the artists really align in thinking with what they're putting out there. And there's not a better way to do that for us right now other than in person than to reach out to you guys on social media. So we try to do that in the best way we can. And I mean, just to be honest with you guys, we try to do that in a way that we won't want to disappear ourselves. Because it could get stressful. Gene and I are in the middle of recording an album right now for the Invisible Panchos. I think we're about to complete like the first song, like where we're like, okay, yeah, that song's good for the album. But we got a bunch lined up. I got pieces of songs all over the place. So a lot of the times when I'm making music, I would love to just be wrapped up in that, but that's not always possible. So here we are, you and I. But today we're going to react to some videos, to some stuff on the YouTube. This is Chris Sees the Internet after all. Lately I've been interviewing a lot of people, still through the internet. I interview them via Zoom, which by the way, we're using Zoom and I've had so many suggestions over the years about like anytime I tell somebody who like does a lot of streaming, like I'm using Zoom or whatever, they're always like, what you should use is and I always forget those names. So if any of you people know that or have some suggestions, to take like to do live interviews and stuff like that, I just use Zoom. Yeah, I mean, and it works. All the interviews on our YouTube page right now are done through Zoom, so it works. But I know there's better ways. And one of the things we really want to do is myself and Gene, OG HipHop Eddie, we'll have guests with us. Sometimes we just want to go live together and react on things. Sometimes in real time. Especially when it has to do with like the things that we're into, because we're into a good amount of things, but I think they're very like niche things most of the time. I feel like our music is kind of niche. We have like our roots are in like boom bap hip hop. I'm like the culture I follow has been hip hop my whole life. It's the only thing I've ever done. Same with Gene. Gene's been pursuing, a life in hip hop forever. But we also have a very eclectic palette, I think, because we're into a bunch of different types of things. And so here on Chris Sees the Internet, we react to videos and stuff having to do with those things. And in that way, we kind of get to know each other, right? Like I get to know you guys by how much you give a fuck. And you get to see like kind of the stuff that we're into, or at least that's like on some of our search histories. That could be dangerous. All right, let's get into some of this right off the bat, man. Okay, so I'm a science guy for sure. I am a self-proclaimed futurist. I do believe in like the steady evolution of people and places and things. I do believe that the only consistent thing in the universe is change. And therefore, I think that it's good to build human beings that are okay with change. And that's what I might mean by being a futurist. So like, even like some of the art, most of the art I do is about kind of trying to push a conversation forward instead of like looking back and like yearning for times that have gone by, or like staying put and not making a move. That's what I mean by futurist, because people have asked me before, you have futurist in your profile or bio, and that's what it is. And so, and all my art is from that place. Yeah, but I'm into like science and stuff, probably more than probably a lot of people know. Again, not the most social person. I'm not like out there like that. Whatever that may mean to you, I feel like you kind of know what I mean. Shout out to Anthony Brito in the chat room. What up, Tone? Yeah, I'm not out there like that, but I'm really into science. I am in it. Look, here's just a thing you should know about me, and maybe all of this starts to make sense at some point, but one of my personal philosophies is to like learn something new every day. And sometimes I take that maybe too serious. So I'll dive into like subjects and topics until I learn them. And they're supposed to just last a day. I'm learning something new every day, but sometimes I'll spread that one topic over months. And that's been like that with everything that I've ever done. Like that's kind of like how I got into music, producing. I tried to like learn everything I had to learn about it. Like, and I continue to do that. And so that's something that that's just kind of where my brain's at. That being said, I'm into like science and stuff. So you're probably going to see some science and stuff things on this channel from time to time. Yeah. All right, let's see this.
Well, the robots have arrived, at least in Pasadena, California. That's where the world's first ever fully autonomous AI-powered restaurant has opened, complete with burger flipping bots. We sent CBS's Joy Benedict on a taste test.
Flippy the chef makes Spud spectacular.
Hold up. She said Flippy? I gotta hear that again.
Flippy the chef makes Spud spectacular.
That's ridiculous.
This automated grill gives the meat its sizzle as this restaurant goes robotic.
For this burger, it would take about 120 seconds.
Cali Express by Flippy is the world's first AI-powered eatery. There's new technology outside the kitchen, too.
A cheeseburger.
Order kiosks use facial recognition to remember you, your favorite food, and how you like to pay. Then watch the robots work. No humans required.
We can't get enough people to come out to work on fryers and grills, and they're dangerous jobs.
Okay. I mean, how do you guys feel about that? You know, I'm not like into like the fear mongering about like the robots are coming. They're pretty much here, no? Like I think they're pretty much here. I think what people mostly fear when it comes to like robots and AI is like the giant leap forward that could possibly happen. But even then, I think that's happened as well. We just didn't really notice it. Like when you look into like science about like the microchip and stuff like that, like some pretty giant steps forward. Propulsion systems, like we had some giant leaps, changed the world. Look what the phone did. Look what the internet did. I mean, you know, you're on the internet right now if you're watching this. So I think humans have a tendency to adapt really, really well. I think we always have done that. But here's the reality of it. There is no stopping it. So like mostly what I try to tell my friends being that I am a futurist, one of the things I try to tell my friends when they are worried about stuff like that is there's other things to worry about. There's just just your own mental health. And I know you're like, well, this affects it. Yeah, if you think about it all the time and you're like, oh shit, the robots are coming. But also like if you like, you know, your finances are all out of order or you're going through bad relationships and all that stuff's way more important. I think that's how I can be a futurist, because I can look down the road and not look at it in fear. Here's one thing that is going to be the challenge. I'll say this because, and I think the way they're going to sell this to us is, in fact, they're already kind of selling us this. They're not like, when they're rolling out these kind of stories, right? Like even the tone of the story, like
jobs, and this automation helps solve a lot of those issues.
Hello, may I have someone?
62%.
So I believe, wait, hold on, let's bring that back. You said
automation helps solve a lot. We can't get enough people to come out to work on fryers and grills, and they're dangerous jobs. And this automation helps solve a lot of those issues.
Okay, so like dangerous jobs, right? Specifically dangerous jobs. They're going to solve all of those. There's going to be a robot or some sort of automation doing all of those. And that is unfortunate for people who work those jobs right now as like a only means of income. And that's going to be a challenge. And I think that we need way more empathy in that place, because people are like, oh, well, you should learn to do something new. Come on, man. Learn to do something new right now. Just you today. And see how many of you are able to pull that off. It's a challenge. I think we need to be more empathetic to that. So I do think that there are going to be, I can almost guarantee this, man. I think there's going to be probably like a mass go back to school re-education movement that the government's going to make very tempting to us, probably, to learn the new jobs, because it's going to happen too quick. And here's the thing that you should think about, say McDonald's, right? They know that some of their jobs can be done by robots for sure. And that's going to put a lot of people out of work. They also know the blowback on that. They're currently going through some E. coli thing, and the blowback is real. People are really dropping stock, and they don't like that. Big businesses don't like that. So they're probably just going to find other things for the people to do. A lot of these things are they going to be jobs that you're going to be like, oh, I'm super psyched to do that? I don't know. Probably not, because it's going to be something new and you're not going to like it. And it's going to be like, I never dreamed of doing this. I know. None of us probably dreamed of what AI was actually going to be. We just saw it in silly movies. But instead of this big explosion of AI, it's been this slow drip over a long period of time. And now we're all in it. It's not going to turn around. To the people that are controlling the money, the argument, you're not going to win the argument, because to them it saves money. But they also know that you need to make money to spend money. And I think that's the thing that you're counting out if you're totally afraid. Nah, man, they're going to... I still believe, I'm a big believer. I still think that in my lifetime, I'm in my 40s, in my lifetime, we're definitely going to see universal pay, where every American probably gets a certain stipend. That's gonna happen. Trump might do it. That's something Trump would do. because he knows how much love he would get for that. Like he's going to get a lot of love, but of course we know he'll get hate from big businesses and blah, 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 blah. But where they have done studies on that, right? Because there are some countries that do that. The spending thing doesn't really go away. So like once businesses realize like, oh, so we're just going to give them a bunch of money and then you know what, they're not going to spend it. No, they're going to spend it more. The spending is just going to adapt. And then one day you will wake up and everything will be robots on the streets, but nothing, you won't seem like it was that big of a deal. That is the reality of life. So far, we have yet to ever see one of these movie things where it's like you wake up tomorrow and Godzilla's here, or you know, me and Gene were just talking about this, like that, like there's a mothership over LA. Like, what would you do if you woke up and you saw that? That's like world changing. That's when you have to decide on a dime. What am I going to do? AI, they've been yelling at us for like, what? At least last 5, 6, 7 years. It's coming. It's coming. It's been slow. We've all known. But I like to stay on the side of empathy. I do think that we need to at least consider that some people might not understand all these things. They might not understand like the inner workings of how we evolve as like a people, as a country, how that happens, why that happens. I was a sociology major. So I'm really, really interested in like the movement of people and how group think happens. Because we're seeing it right now, right? In politics. There's just people are only acting with groupthink. Either you're that or you're that. And anybody outside of those things is just crazy. As opposed to like thinking it's crazy to like give yourself no choices out of like disaster. Here's something that America has not learned how to do enough. We don't know how to sit out of anything. So like even if you go like, hey, I'm not voting. What? Oh, but I don't like either candidate. Oh, well, that's fine, but you got to vote. No, I don't like either candidate. Yeah, but you got to vote because you're American. You got to vote. Or I could not. And that's American. I think it's a choice. It's like when you're not acting American is when you're just not paying attention to any of it at all, I guess. I guess there's an argument to say like you're not acting American because you don't even care what happens to the country. I'm saying I care tremendously, and I'd like to say that I don't like either side. It's Fugazi. How do you guys? Come on, it's Fugazi. It's like Flippy. Over here. It's like Flippy.
62% of restaurants report being understaffed. Industry experts say most of those unfilled jobs could be done by robots. And in California, where the minimum wage for most fast food workers will soon be...
Okay, so like come on. At the least, that is a strong argument. If people aren't applying for, which they are not, just scroll TikTok. The younger generation is not having it. They're not having it, dude. They're not trying to work at like all the crap jobs that we worked at when we grew up. And I am not, again, I'm a futurist. I'm not one of those people who goes like, well, they need to feel the same pain we felt. No, they don't, dude. Don't you understand that if they do that, that means we didn't do shit? We didn't make anything better? That's always been such an idiotic argument to me. They need to feel the pain like we felt the pain. No, they don't. They shouldn't. They're going to have their own pain. Life takes care of that. The stresses you had are not the stresses that they will have. Nonetheless, I digress. The kids aren't having it. And so if people aren't going and applying for these jobs, And restaurants are like, damn, we can't even serve enough and blah, blah, blah. And obviously, it's kind of BS, right? Like they're making way more money than they need to. But that is their argument. What do you say? No, we'll find some people and we'll force them to work there. That way, at least a human being is working it. You see what? It gets silly. And that's what I'm saying. Like, don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Work on you. As you should have always been doing. By the way, my Instagram is open. Our Instagram, the Invisible Panchos. The inbox is open. If you'd like to send forward a topic or video anytime, even for the next show, send that on in. You know what I'm saying? Flippy.
$20 an hour. Fewer workers equals cost savings. Dan Ives is with Wedbush Securities, a wealth management firm.
Once the minimum wage went to 20, that's the bell going off. More and more focus on spending on AI. Because look, that's inflationary. That's the problem. You can't necessarily pass all that to the consumer.
Flippy can cook 250 pounds of French fries an hour.
So he's saying, that dude is saying, because the minimum wage went up, restaurants are like, we need to figure out a way to offset this money that we're losing by paying the least amount of money we could pay to somebody. It's all crazy, dude. But that's what's driving that. And when have you, again, let's be smart. When have you ever seen that driving factor not go forward? Like that always goes forward. Like if a business is like, we need to save money, they don't at some point go like, nah, man, we should really just care about people instead. That rarely happens. So don't vote. Oh, probably just got me banned. Don't vote for fake. No. Oh man, I'm saying all the bad words. I was trying to play it off. What I mean is just don't buy that product, right? I don't eat fast food, man. Actually, that's a lie. Because I'll eat a Mexican food occasionally, and they make it pretty fast. We are fast. It's not like that, you know. Not Speedy Gonzalez fast. That's racist. But we get it done. Mexican food is pretty quick. So, but I mean, like, you know, that super processed. That super processed, like, food, I don't do it. So again, in that argument over there, like the AI to McDonald's, man, don't eat McDonald's, fool. Don't eat McDonald's. Work on you. Easier said than done. I'm right there with you, Playboy. All right. Let me see what else Flippy has to say just in case, so we move on. And I'll jump into this chat room too.
The burger bought 100 patties.
These restaurants are very, very busy at peak times, and every second that gets added to somebody waiting in the drive-thru is a lost revenue opportunity for that restaurant.
Is it costing people their jobs?
That's not what we've seen. It's really here to help people.
Humans at Cali Express will put the finishing touches on a work.
Gene Flo in the chat room said it'll cost more for the initial cost of the robotics installation, and that'll probably create product cost hikes as well. Yeah, but you know how that goes, dude. Like, they don't care. That's like building like a brand new stadium for a team. They know how much that's going to cost, but they know in the long term it's nothing. That's nothing. Where paying a person until they die, because that's the way they see it, that's a lot to them. So, and then with AI, self-repairing robots, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's just, until we figure out how to do that on ourselves, we can't even compete. Escape the matrix.
Orders. For customers, the price of the meals are competitive. As for taste,
is it going to affect the quality and the taste?
I would say yes, in a good way. Because now each burger is being cooked precisely the same way every time.
Time will tell whether AI takes over kitchens everywhere. That will be up to the public to chew on. Joy Benedict, CBS News, Pasadena.
There you go. There you go. Flippy. What say you? What say you about Flippy? I say, Gene Flow said write-offs. Yes, that's what it is. That's what they will be, write-offs. We're not going to win that race, people. You know? Just let that one go. Make a robot friend. Because, you know, when they're in charge, at least you want to be like an indoor pet. I'm not trying to be like, you know, like on the farm working or pulling a tractor or something in their robot farm. They might be into farming. You never know. What if AI just decides like, you know what? Humans are making the best of what they're doing. And so I'm going to just be like them. And they just like, maybe it just gets lazy. Just wants to kind of like a 9 to 5. Wants to be shut off at night. Just lackluster AI, you know? One can hope. But nonetheless, make a robot friend before it's too late. All right, what do we want to see? Do we want to see proof that we're in a simulation? I've been making playlists, and if you send me videos, I will add them to the playlist. I have added some playlists. Here, let me see. I'll just let you see it. I have added some things that people have sent me. So, do we want to see the weird experiment that changed when observed? Nah, that one's too deep, man. One day we're gonna go in on that one. That's one of those weird science nerdy things that I'm super into. I'd be super into. That proves that we're in some sort of simulation. It's a very old. It's like a very old an experiment that happened a while back. It's called the double slit experiment, I believe. But you can look that up. But we'll talk about that some other. That might just get too deep. So, you know, we're just now like getting to know each other. You know, I don't even know what you might not even pick up the toilet seat when you go to the bathroom. So let's just slow down. I don't want to tell you all the secrets. What if I want you to stay in the Matrix? You might be like one of those kind of supporters that's like, you're cool, but you might be good in the Matrix, you know? I'm not here to like break everybody out. Like that's not, nobody can do that, by the way. That's not how it works. Master your anxiety, unleash your genius. That was that. I started watching a little bit about that, but you know, I think we should stay on some very serious topics like UFO mysteries. Oh, shoot.
What's interesting also, Alex, in almost the year that has passed.
So I don't know if you guys saw, like, I think it was a year. Well, she's saying like a year, but like this might be old as well. But yeah, maybe sometime last year there was like it went viral. Like apparently something crashed in the back of like this yard of this Mexican family that lives in Vegas. Shout out La Vegas Raza. They just had the Chicano Music Fest too. I wonder if they were there. The aliens were there, probably, maybe. I know if some of my family members were there. The aliens were there, fool. The aliens were there, fool. But it crashed in the backyard, and apparently there was even like some video that came out. We'll probably, yeah, you know, let's stick to the serious topics like this stuff you guys need to know.
Is that something else has begun to happen, they say, now inside the home. And they're very afraid of what they have been,
UFOs?
what they say that they have been witnessing inside their home. Can you describe what it is they're telling you?
Yeah, and I think that's the reason why Angel has pivoted from calling what he saw that night an alien instead, now calling it a demon, because he.
Why do they always go to the demon thing? Mexicans are crazy, fool. We're crazy. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm pretty sure like some of my nana and her sisters, it was like borderline. It was Catholic, but there was some like skull stuff going on occasionally. There was like a blood. some other time.
He feels like he's seeing so much paranormal activity and just strange, unexplainable things happening inside of his home. There was 2 anecdotes, one in particular that we're about to show you that literally made the hairs on my arms stand up just because it is so freaky,
okay.
so
this is a video. This is the video that was on TikTok.
Segment of that part of the conversation.
Bust it.
You mentioned paranormal activity. What exactly did you see?
All 4 movies.
Well, I was in another room. My brother called me, and there was a upside down cross, and there was a Jesus statue in it. They ripped Jesus out of it. They threw him like across the room, and it was floating upside down.
Come on. I mean, the Jesus thing. Okay, let's think. Let's try to think. I'm a science guy. What if Jesus, right? Like, say Jesus was a real person that lived, breathed, was not a story. Maybe, and it was basically like an ascended teacher, kind of like the idea of that. If you guys know what the concept. I'm super into philosophy too. Sorry, guys. But there's like this belief that, human beings can discipline. Really, it is that they can discipline themselves to a level that is godlike, right? In Jesus's teachings, he'd say, he'd constantly talk about how like his apostles were just like him if they just believed, and that kind of thing. If you believe in that, so. If the alien came down and it would have to have an issue with Jesus, right? Because it saw the cross and then it ripped Jesus off. Maybe it doesn't like the shape. Maybe that means like fuck you in like alien language, that symbol of the cross or something. Like maybe it's that. But otherwise, it like the math starts falling apart. Like so a demon is there now. And I could see maybe the demon wouldn't like Jesus because he'd be like, well, Jesus, I'm just saying, like, if we're just trying to stay logical, let's not try to get too religious here, but like try to stay logical. If Jesus is just like a symbol of humans being the best they can be, then a demon who's negative might see that as like, oh shit, it's that guy, the one who like, that we fought before and he beat us or something, you know what I mean? Maybe it's something like that. That's why I'm trying to help him out. I think I helped him out.
Are you saying floating in the air?
Yeah, like in the air. It was floating upside down.
Of course.
What did you do?
Where else would it be?
Pick it up? Did you knock it down? Like how?
No, I didn't do nothing. I was just sitting there. I was crazy. I was like, what?
Nah.
But how did it come?
Nah. No, you didn't. You just okay. Why is he doing this? Why is he doing this? Apparently, from what I've heard, I've done the research. I'm a serious journalist. By the way, check out Rap Diego on KPBS, NPR, anywhere podcasts are found. I'm a serious journalist. I don't know. Apparently, they have not received any money for any of this. Like, they're not profiting. They don't have a YouTube channel. The TikTok didn't really pay out like that. Like, the research has been done by the internet sleuths, and they got the DRDDY, you know what I mean? Like, they'll get anybody. So, I think for sure they would get, like, this Mexican family from Vegas. They could just look into it and find out if they're just getting stacks on stacks on stacks, but they're not getting anything for this. So unless the entire family is obsessed with just, like, stardom, which is not crazy, I'm sure over time we will investigate a lot of that topic. It's not crazy. As you might think, people will do crazy things for fame. And if everybody does crazy things for fame, then it's probably not that crazy. It's normalizing somehow. Maybe they just like, we want something to say we did. I've watched enough YouTube videos on get out there and Make something happen. Maybe it's something like that. And they're like, and the family just got hyped and they're like, yeah, we're going to get known for like a Vegas alien. And I'm saying it. And even as I'm saying it, I'm like, oh, at one time that would have been ridiculous, but it is not ridiculous. Again, I'm not like this kid's age. You know what I mean? This is a very young generation, but they've had generations to learn from all of us over the years on what fame is, and each generation takes it up a level, and now maybe this generation is like, yeah, we don't need to get paid, or we'll flip it down the road. It'll be worth something down the road. I bet you just Google, how much is like a TMZ story, and like how many years can I make money off of a story that's so big? Who knows? But for sure, you didn't do nothing.
It's not still floating right now, is it?
No, it came down. So we got closer to it, and then
he said, "Is it still floating right now?" He's just being that's
sitting there. I was crazy. I was like, "What?"
But how did it come down? It's not still floating right now, is it?
No, it came down.
He should have said yes.
Closer to it, and then dropped.
It fell to the.
He should have said yes. He should have said yes. It's floating right now. Can you see it? No. The demon said nah. Demon said wrap it up to it's $200 more.
The ground, a crucifix, floating in the air, upside down. The Jesus on the crucifix had been ripped off, and it was floating. And you can say
more likely story. The Jesus cross, like the one I have in my house somewhere that I got from my nana, fell off the wall because you guys were like wrestling or something. It fell off the wall, and the Jesus fell off of that, and then you had that like propped up, and then that like tilted and fell off, and for a moment it floated before it hit the ground as it was falling. It was floating for a moment.
Say definitively, without lies, that is what you saw.
Yes. Swear to God, that's what I saw.
What do you believe that
Swear
is?
to God.
How could something like that happen? That's not physically possible in this world.
You don't know that. I call out that reporter. So that's an opinion. You don't know if it's physically possible in this world.
Not physically possible in this world.
And that's just one story of many stories of paranormal activity that's happened inside this house, according to Angel. He said that the family has had to take some really drastic measures to make themselves feel safe within their home. We're going to talk more about all of that paranormal activity tomorrow night on Banfield.
And one last question about just what their house, has become, because, typically people are.
Typically is a strong word, Karen.
They are rabid about stuff like this, and people will come from all corners.
Like this, like a giant alien just crashes in everybody's backyard.
Of not just the country, but the earth.
I'm on both sides,
to visit places like this. Have they been inundated with tourists and looky-loos and people who are not maybe
as kind
as they should be when they arrive on the property?
Yeah, you bet. I mean, as you mentioned, this story sparked global attention. So everybody started coming to this house to get a peek at the backyard, hoping to catch a sight of a UFO or an alien or a demon, whatever it was back there. And so that's the reason why you see so many no trespassing signs. If you just look in the distance, you see one on the window, there's one on the garage.
What if aliens really aren't?
On the door, there's a no trespassing sign, also a concealed carry
maybe they just don't like
sign
Jesus.
that says that,
they
we
found
will
the book,
protect
they're
our
like,
property.
no.
So in the end,
and so when they see it,
they're
like,
and so much so that they're seeing around 4 or 5 cars almost each and every day, people stopping by.
I'm just saying, keep your mind open. Don't crash out
even
just
jumping over the fence, breaking into their home.
You don't agree.
Trying to do whatever they can to catch a glimpse.
So distressing. Alex Capriello, thank you. I know we've got more reporting ahead, so I appreciate the time that you've taken out there.
Me too, Cappy. That's what I'd call him. Hey, thanks, Cappy. Back to you, Karen. So what say you guys? You guys think that that's real? I gotta see it though. Okay, like I kind of want to look up more. Let's just hear. Because we're here. You know what I mean? We're just gonna look up just a little bit, just a little more alien stuff, if that's cool. It's a comfy day. You know what I mean? This is what I'd be doing if it was like it was just all raining and I couldn't do anything else. Not that you guys are. Come on, you're not a waste of time. Don't be silly. It's aliens. All right. Let's see here. We got to at least see what else they got to say about the aliens. I just want to at least see. All right, let's see what the okay, this was the year ago. Let's go back to the OG original.
Investigators were showing you drone video from above that area. And we know, of course, Creech not far away, Nellis Air Force Base. Part of the video because it's considered.
Oh yeah, here we go. This is what we want. Yeah, this is the good stuff.
Now investigators digging into this for weeks now, and tonight our David
we got
Charles
production
with the video
value, people.
You will only see on 8 News Now. David?
Speaking of sources telling Bay News Now investigators that several agencies believe something landed or crashed. Whether it was non-humans or not, it certainly scared the people living on this property. Now, before we show you that video, listen to their call for help.
What?
There's like an 8.
Hold up.
Walking around.
Our 8 News Now investigators digging into this for weeks now, and tonight our David Charles with the video. You will only.
Hey, do you guys think the 8 News, like the 8 News investigators, like do you think they were really working on it for weeks? In your opinions, do you think they were on it for weeks? I feel like that was strong.
Only see on 8 News Now. David?
Right, Denise, sources telling Bay News Now investigators that several agencies believe something landed or crashed. Whether it was non-humans or not, it certainly scared the people living on this property. Now, before we show you that video, listen to their call for help.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us. And it's
wait. 8-foot person. He said, what did he say?
Listen to their call for help.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, there's like an 8-foot person beside it. What does he mean by that? Let's also listen to the tone, right?
Now, before we show you that video, listen to their call for help.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard.
It's floating.
I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually we're terrified of it.
So there's 2 people or 2.
I like how he said, I swear to God, it's not a joke.
I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually we're terrified of it.
So
we're terrified of it.
2 people or 2 subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large.
He's very proper.
Like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us.
Which I'm gonna tell you, if you're new to the Mexicans, if you don't know us very well, when you're calling the cops, all my family's gonna be super proper, trying to use all their big words. Let them know it's for real.
Big eyes. They have big eyes, like.
So that part's not. If you're like, oh, he's acting all proper, like that's.
They're shiny eyes.
Trying to translate it for you.
And they're not human. They're 100%. They're not human.
Okay.
Well, the 8 News Now investigators obtaining video.
Okay.
Investigators obtaining video as officers.
They're shiny eyes and.
She's the star of the show.
And they're not human. They're 100%. They're not human.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, the 8 News Now investigators obtaining video as officers then responded to the call you just heard.
This is what we want to see. Get to it. Let's get to it.
It's almost midnight on May 1st when a Las Vegas Metro Police officer's body cam catches this, something flashing low in the sky.
911 emergency.
Minutes later,
there's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Someone calls 911 reporting two large figures in their backyard.
I'm so nervous right now.
The 8 News Now investigators obtaining another officer's video.
Wait, did the cops say I'm so nervous right now? That's not, dude. You don't. What?
In their backyard.
No, I'm so nervous right now.
What? Pull his badge.
Someone calls 911 reporting two large figures in their backyard.
No, I'm so nervous right now.
The 8 News Now investigators obtaining another officer's video as he's sent to the Northwest Valley home.
I have butterflies, bro. Everyone thought a shooting star. Then these people say there's aliens in their backyard.
Yo, I'm better not even saying anything.
By now,
I'm going
it's
to
more
Vegas.
than an hour after that bright light. Officers meeting up with the caller and his family.
What'd you see?
It was like a big creature.
A big creature?
Yeah, like around 10 feet tall.
I'm not going to BS you guys.
Okay, hold up. This is something I've watched this video a few times. This is the first time I noticed this, though. That's the mom and dad back there, right? Dad and mom. Actually, more mom, though. Mom right here. Mom looks like she's mad at him. Like, I told you not to do this. And he's like, Mom, you don't understand. Like, we're going to be famous. I'm just going to do it. Like, it could be one of those things, too. And she's just like, she's not going to turn him into the cops. Like, right there. We don't even know their status either. I think there was some rumors that the mom or dad might be here on a visa or just illegally, which that's whack. That anybody would point that out, you assholes. But it might be like, they might just be like, yo, we're not going to get anybody in trouble. And because I definitely see like the way the mom is looking at him, like the mom, that's not like, oh my God, we just saw an alien as well. Like one day I'm going to tell you about my UFO experience. And I was with my mom when it happened. My mom did not look at me like that.
Said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious. Did you see anything land in your backyard? Or
they see like a big, that's what they say. They see like a big.
Yeah, see that part where he's like, that's what they said. like I'm getting their back, but yo, it is them though. Like it's they said it, not me. Sir, I have no idea what they're talking about. I have no idea. I just pay my taxes. You know, I tell these kids to leave those neighbors alone, and it's something like that. It's that. That's the vibes I'm getting. What say you?
Big, like a big something with light.
What I saw right now, I do believe in it.
Police walk into the backyard to investigate, but Metro.
So this is the big brother. Big brother, little brother get together. Again, we're just going to get some props off of this. Dude, you'd be surprised how much people would do just to get like props from like their little friend circle. Yo, we were on the news last night. Like, yo, what I'm saying is it could be anything. But it could be aliens.
Blacked out that part of the video because it's considered private property. What's clear, they're taking this call seriously.
Hey, this might sound like a really dumb question, but did you guys see anything fall out of the sky?
Asking others what they saw.
I would normally discount it as nothing. However, seeing as one of my partners said they saw it too, only reason I'm actually investigating it further.
That investigation turning up no concrete answers as of Wednesday. Whatever or whoever fell into that yard, long gone within minutes.
Oh, hey, if those 9-foot beings come back, don't call us, all right? Deal with it yourself. I ain't dealing with that.
I don't know, guys.
So yeah, this is quite weird, guys. Brian was saying as we're watching this story. Now, we've been in contact with the family in that video, and as you heard in that 911 call, they seem very reasonable and honestly quite scared as you heard them in the call.
But they didn't sound that scared at the end. You know what I mean? I feel like, if anything, they weren't that scared at the end. Sorry, I'm having mic issues. Mic issue? Mic issue. There we go. All right. Yeah. I don't know. It went crazy though on TikTok. So if that was the only, that was really the only point to what they were doing. Excuse my technical difficulties here. If that was the only reason that they were doing that, then yeah, it makes sense. Again, I've seen people do crazier things for less. I'm gonna get into, I don't know, Pancho. I don't think that you know what? Hold on. Because I know it, because look it. Obviously, I've looked into this, and I can tell you there is a video that maybe we should just show you. The video that they're trying to prove is like the proof, like, because I guess there's some proof, or no, what? No, there's not proof. There's a video that shows like a shadowy figure as they're going, like upon initial investigation, as they're going there and going to the backyard. Because here's the thing, this is the thing that made it all go kind of crazy, and it makes you go like, well, something's happening there. The initial video, the body cam that the cops have, has still never been released. For some, there's been numerous lawyers apparently who've tried to like sue to get it released and are attempting to get it released. And there isn't really like a reason behind that. They said it's just like a pending investigation. And so, and then the one they did release was blacked out, like right as they turned the corner, and you hear them go, but so like that would mean that the cops would be in on it too, right? And then the family too, and then for what? And I know the UFO conspiracists, right? I know that they are at the very least, you know, there's at least an argument that they would have, is that like, yeah, that's how they do it, to put that into our psyche, and then, you know, we can think about UFOs, because either they're fake or they're not, whatever side. It works either way, which is weird, you know. But yeah, I just don't get why they would do it. I guess maybe we don't need to see the video. Let me see. There's a guy who kind of like broke down the whole thing. Well, you know what? Let me read some of the comments on this video. It said, let's see, this dude said, the most suspicious thing about this to me is the fact that when the officer goes to the backyard where this supposedly happens, now the video, yeah, see, that's what I said too. The video cuts out, and that's out there. You can kind of just search for that. That is out there. But yeah, you guys go check out the video. Bring it up next time if you want me to do it. You know, if you want me to go into that investigative news journalism, as I'm able to do, my high level of journalism. And but I'm not going to do that to you guys. We're going to move on. I've come prepared. I have a list. Let's see here. Let me open up this playlist. Oh, where's my Gene Flow music? What's going on here? All right. Man, I got so many windows open right now. Okay, playlist, vlog. Here we go. Here we go. There's Flippy. Shout out Flippy. Flipsters. All right. Oh yeah. So I want to check this one out. Since we're on and we talked AI, how about how AI can help us talk to animals? I don't know about you guys, man, but I'm an animal lover. I got 2 dogs. I will do anything for those dogs. Kill a man for those dogs. Not really, though. But you know what I mean. I got love for those dogs. They're like my kids, kind of. No, they're not. You're going to have real kids to understand. Now, there's books on it. Let me see how AI could help us talk to animals. Here we go. Dang.
She's been studying African elephants and their communication for 50 years.
Then I started to think,
hold up. Okay, wheel up.
Way back in the 80s, I noticed that sometimes when an elephant called a member of her family, one individual would answer, and everybody else ignored the calling animal. And then she would call again, and a different elephant would sort of lift her head up and, rumble very loudly.
This is Joyce Poole. She's been studying African elephants and their communication for 50 years.
Then I started to think, well, okay, so maybe they have a way of directing a call to a specific individual. But
Damn. Elephants can speak to each other through frequencies.
We had no way of detecting that.
Decades later, she partnered up with Mickey Pardo, who designed a study around her observations.
I went out. See, this for sure on Chris Sees the Internet, I'm going to talk to some people like these people. Because this is what I'm mostly interested in, is like, how do you even get into a place with your life where, like, one of the things you do is like call like a homie and go, hey, you want to start a talk to elephant business? You know what I mean? Like, I just want to know how did life get you to that? Like, I'm interested in knowing that.
To the field, I recorded calls with careful behavioral observations. So we knew who made each call. We knew who the call was addressed to. We knew the context of the call.
They encoded the acoustic information from the recordings into a long string of numbers, along with the data Mickey collected about the calls. They fed nearly 500 different calls like this into a statistical model. And when given the acoustic structure of a new call, the model could predict who the receiver of the call was much better than chance.
So they do. They have like a filter. Let's get to the stuff though, huh? Can we talk to dogs?
Take the shape of any one language and match it to the shape of any other language, and the point, which is dog, ends up in the same spot.
This idea that similar words...
What? Wait, hold on.
This is Asa Raskin. He co-founded the Earth Species Project, one of a few organizations that want to build models like this for animal communication. What he means by language having a shape is that language models are built out of relationships among words.
Gotcha.
Words that mean similar things are placed near each other. Words that share a relationship share a distance and direction. So man is to king as woman is to queen.
So this is the
You guys follow that?
Shape of all those relationships among the English language's 10,000 most common words, visualized here by the Earth Species Project.
They did this for words used in HipHop, by the way, one time. You can look that up. Like word map, HipHop, something. I just Google something like that, and it'll come up.
Flattened out, it looks something like this.
Something really miraculous happened in 2017, and that was researchers discovered that you could take the shape of any one language and match it to the shape of any other language, and the point, which is dog, ends up in the same spot.
This idea that similar words can be located in other languages in roughly the same place is what gives the Earth Species Project hope we could do a version of this for animal communication.
For animals,
to do a translation without needing any examples, without needing a Rosetta
I'm
Stone.
getting it, guys.
This is complicated, though, because we know that animals don't just communicate with sound, but with other senses too. But Asa points out that we can learn from the fact that image generation models like DALL-E and Midjourney are built on the same large language model structure used for text.
It turns out behind the scenes, it's again these kinds of shapes. There's the shape that represents sound, the shape that represents images. Those two shapes get aligned, and now you can translate between images and text.
Their expectation is that where non-human animals' communication would line up with ours will tell us even more about what we have in common.
Dolphins look in mirrors and recognize themselves.
I get that. And then they'll be able to process, like, so depending on like where the sound lands on the map from them and where that lands, like how it coincides with us, then AI also is able to study like their senses, what they're doing when they're making those noises, how they're acting, their heart rates, all AI will be able to process all of that. So it will be able to like pinpoint more or less what animals mean, I think. That's pretty trippy.
Elephants too.
Would you want to talk to your animals? I don't know. My dogs are cool. Not talking, you know what I mean? But yeah, that would be, I don't know. I don't think people want that. People don't want that. People don't want that. People might think they want that. They definitely don't want that, though. Heck no. They definitely don't want to talk to animals. They're going to have to answer for a lot of stuff. And we have a hard time just answering to each other. I cannot imagine that we would want to answer to Fido. You know? Can't imagine we'd want to do that. I think we're gonna have AI that, like, for all the people who are like lonely, because people are like, what about like lonely people? I've heard that argument. Like, it would be nice to, like, you know, you already have a companion and they actually talk and they can completely take place of a human, like a lot of you crazy people want to do. Yeah, I can see that. But I don't think people, once AI is just going to take care of it. You'll have plenty of things to talk to by next year, probably. Be talking to your table and your everything. TV, you already do that, right? TV, your phone, your computer. Some people, the lights, you talk to the lights. Your bed, warm up. Your car. You already have plenty of things to talk to. And you don't do good with them already. You don't need another thing. You don't need another thing. All right. Oh man, let's get into this. It's only right. We got to figure this out. Let me see which one we should bring up though. I'll let you peeky too. Oh, Whack 100's already talking about Lil Durk? I heard we can't even, from what I heard, again, I'm new to this. I don't even play with Vlad's stuff. Like he'll just never let you use it, apparently. I say it all like he's an evil villain. He'll just never let you. But yeah, that's what I heard. But Durk, man, Lil Durk. Lil Durk was a real life gangster who at least put hits on people. Let me see. Drake's lawyer speaks on Lil Durk's murder plot arrest. I don't want to hear Drake's lawyer. Everything we know about rapper Lil Durk's arrest and murder that's what we need. That's what we need. ABC 7, let's go.
Rap artist Lil Durk allegedly targeted a rival rapper in a murder for hire scheme in Los Angeles. He has been arrested.
As Eyewitness News reporter Annabelle Munoz found out, federal officials say it was a family member of the intended target who ended up being killed by hitmen.
trying to keep me down.
He's 32, a successful rapper, and a Grammy Award winner. Federal authorities say Lil Durk is also behind an alleged murder-for-hire plot.
It is a very violent crime. You're talking about someone losing their life, and perhaps another individual was the target.
Chicago rapper Dirk Banks was arrested near Miami International Airport Thursday night.
Apparently, I heard too he had like booked multiple flights to different places because he must have known. Maybe it leaked out because apparently this whole thing it's getting pinned on like somebody inside his inner circle that was wearing a wire. Ouch.
You want to say about your son? His family seen leaving his first court appearance today. A federal complaint says Banks.
Man, the amount of people like this hurts. You know what I mean? Like that's the part that always I trip out on. Like, I'm sure if it was a murder for hire, like revenge, which I heard it was, in retaliation. Well, hold on. We'll just keep listening. I'm over here.
Banks put a bounty on a rival rapper in response to the killing of a close friend in 2020. Roughly 2 years later, this deadly shooting unfolded at a gas station near the Beverly Center in August of 2022. Investigators named several defendants and alleged co-conspirators they say stalked and attempted to murder the rival rapper, and instead ended up killing a relative who was with the target at the time.
And it's almost like it's cliche at this point, right? It's always the other guy. It's like somebody that was with him. Somebody who, I don't know. That's just sad, man. When will there be like more retaliation now?
The indictment says this is a photo of the 3 individuals who fired gunshots at the busy intersection.
What they have shared so far is a tremendous amount of information, especially as it comes to
dude's hair is crazy though.
The planning involved in this alleged hit for hire. Weapons were supplied. Ski masks were supplied. Those weapons were modified to make at least one of them an automatic weapon.
Authorities say Banks flew into Los Angeles the day before the killing by private plane. They also allege the purchase of flights from Chicago to SoCal and a hotel reservation for the alleged co-conspirators was from accounts linked to Banks and his music collective OTF.
So it was all being used on like some credit card, I guess, too. Like that's ultimately like the hard records they have, I guess. Plus the wiretap. The wiretaps are coming.
That around that time, iCloud records show that a phone number associated with Banks texted an alleged co-conspirator, quote, "Don't book no flights under no names involved with me." According to the indictment, Banks had made clear in, quote, coded language that he'd pay a bounty for the murder. Authorities arrested 5 defendants in Chicago Thursday morning and say the FBI learned Banks was booked on 3 international flights before his arrest.
I wonder what the murder plan was though, right? Because it was like, it was like the morning, right? So they were tailing the person for sure. They didn't just like, oh, there he is, get him, like that. And that's, no, it wasn't, because they kind of almost knew this was coming. Yeah, this is crazy. Dang. It smells very fetty. You know what I mean?
If convicted, Banks and the other defendants face a maximum sentence of life in federal prison.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown.
Jeez, man. He won a Grammy. All I wanted to go was to the Whack 100. Lil Durk fell victim to fans telling him to slide for King Von. So he thinks that he just can't even play it though. Whack 100 on informant OTF jam wearing a wire. There you go. See, somebody is doing that. Damn, Lil Durk put out a song called Monitoring Me 3 weeks ago. Is this real? What? No. Here, I'm going to get it with you. No, boom. Nope. Not getting us, Lil Durk. You might need all the money you can get. Wow, he put out a song. Wow. Hold on, I need to hear it real quick. I need to mute it for you guys though. Sorry. I mean, it's a lot of gun talk, man. Oh, Durk. Oh, Durk. What have you done, man? Yo, if you take away anything from that, right, is for sure money doesn't solve a damn thing. Because no matter what, whatever he had, like whatever he had in his heart, like whatever he had like in his heart, it wasn't cured by money. None of these cats. All these dudes with a lot of money that go down, like you should just see, like, I mean, you can't see that. You can't see, oh, money didn't help a damn thing. He had some shiny gold chains as he was getting handcuffed. Probably a lot of money in the bank. Probably a lot of properties that he may never ever see again. Let's see. We'll see how this plays out. But it looks like they got him, though, right? Like, it looks like they got him. I mean, they're talking wiretaps. Damn, and this is for King Von. That dude was really loved, huh? He was really loved, man. I feel my condolences to everybody involved in this who lost somebody, and to the families that have to go through all of this. It's got to be a nightmare. Imagine, like, you get to his level. So this is Grammy award winning, millions of dollars. At the very least, him and his circle had gotten to a point from where they came from, because he had very humble beginnings. Where they came from, everybody was like, yo, we did it. We're good. No more worries. And then boom. That's sad. That makes me sad. Oh man. What are you gonna do? Life is that. Yo, I found this super interesting. I'm into this kind of stuff too. I don't know if you know who P-Rod is. Paul Rodriguez is a skater. He's like my age. But he's one of the OGs. But he's still out there doing it. He created an amazing brand. He is the son of Paul Rodriguez, the comedian. And I caught him on this podcast, Grind and Unwind, with Gary Rogers. Gary Rogers seems like he's super dope. I want to look into him in this conversation. But hold up. Let me try to find this part. They talk about... I'm trying to figure out. They had this really dope conversation, especially like if you're an artist, or for me it's hip hop, but this applied to hip hop for sure. I think that there's like some crossover in like pursuing something that, in order to live off of it, or living off of it, is a rarity. So anytime you're pursuing something like that, there's some crossover in how like the people participating in that behave. And they talk a little bit about like money and stuff, but they're talking about skaters in particular.
Just to be able to land something in a contest.
But I don't want to lose the soul of it, for sure. And I know it's a fine line. But it's just like, that's why I always compare it to music. You can go be trained at the finest musical school of arts and learn how to play the piano, and learn every Mozart song that there ever was, or whatever your favorite pianist is. But if you're just trying to train to do what they do, and then maybe I could just play it a little faster than what they did. But like, you're not. What are you getting? But they created an art.
What do you? Exactly.
Like
it's put there for you to create with it.
Yeah.
the piano is an instrument. It is a tool for creative expression.
Right.
The skateboard is made the same way.
Yeah.
And there's people that literally can do it to type like you said, click faster to make the sound quicker.
Yeah.
And then there's people that want to tweak it.
Yeah.
Tweak the kickflip, catch it with the back foot,
Right.
land it on bolts.
Like, I can appreciate watching a rap battle and appreciate guys freestyling off the top of their head, rap battling, and be like, wow, that's a fucking incredible talent that you can think that fast.
Exactly.
But I'm not putting that on my car or re-listening to that rap battle while I'm driving.
No, hell no.
Re-listen to that rap battle and fucking groove to the spot. No.
No.
I need to listen to a song that's going to put me in a feeling, in a way, inspire me to make me want to go out and be better me.
Dope.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a time and a place for all that.
That's fine. Nah, I hear, like, that's what I'm saying. That's why I think like I said, like I was in that understanding of when I watched that and saw that, you know, and I'm a firm believer of that, you know. And that's another thing that I was always worried about with the Nikes and those type of things too, is will they take the life out of it and make people celebrities and separate, because not everybody can.
And those are all like real arguments that they have, like in hip hop too. I mean, we hear these arguments all the time, you know, about like the watering down of hip hop by adding money. But usually the people saying those things they're not factoring in the ability for the artist to be able to care for themselves, or they don't care, you know, like they don't really care. They're just like, just make the art. And, you know, and dancing for quarters isn't things that we do. And I don't want any of my people doing that. Like, I want them to be able to take care of themselves and their families, especially if they could do that while putting something beautiful into the world. You know, I think that's super dope. But that's a challenge because some people haven't quite figured out how to balance those things. You know, they lose themselves in the pursuit of money or in the pursuit of art, you know, instead of trying to find a balance. But yeah, even in skateboarding, that exists.
That was like a thing I was worried about early on, and not everybody's that good to make it and be on these big companies. And
yeah, but the reality of life is that's life in general.
No, I know.
Not everybody's gonna go.
But with skating and how I still feel, and that's just like, this is like that naive in me, and like that hope that we'll get it together and we will focus on business and we will make sure that money can last for 50 years in our you know, in our structure. Just like how we're saying, like how we want to figure out a way for everybody to eat. We will come up with that plan that has nothing to do with the higher up. That's a great vision, and that's a great
he's hope, but
and a pure intention, you know. But like, I feel like maybe I'm just out of touch now, and I'm the older dude, just out of touch. But like, I feel like until we as skaters stop cannibalizing each other, it's like, bro, it's so like.
Nah, he's still on point.
So quick to be, this dude's whack. Oh, that's a bad look. Oh, this is that. That like is literally paralysis by analysis. I know lots of pro skateboarders who are like, I can't make that move. I can't do that. Can't do this. Because they're so worried about getting that criticism.
And that defeats the art. I wish people would understand that. Like, putting up those barriers around yourself defeats the art. Because then it isn't whatever comes out of it isn't a naturally occurring thing, you know, like how it ends up. It's within the confines of something that's controlled and predetermined, as opposed to something that's not. So new isn't like definitely, I think in art, a lot of the times new gets a bad rep. Whether we're doing that to the youth, like we're, you know, they don't understand, they're ruining everything, blah, 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 all this stuff, right? Not understanding like that, just like us, the world is something that's carving people out. So the things that the youth are going through, the world is carving them out, you know, and they're going to get to the place that they need to get to if we allow them to. And the roles of the people who might have gone through some of those things before is to not like go, this is how we did it, because that's not how it is anymore. It's better to go like, this is how I felt when I was going through it. So if you need help, or if it helps you to know that going through like a variety of changes, or trying to develop as an artist, or like being rejected or all those things, those they're normal things. If the more the youth can hear that from people who've gone through it, instead of like comparing and contrasting, I think we're all better off. And then that helps the art, because then the art has like good soil to grow from.
I came here into the industry like when I was a kid, I was like, all right, I kind of get this. Like, I get skating. I'm not hecka good as like the homies that are making the local videos, but I was like, I seen all that like kind of, oh, you can't do that or say that or be that way. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna do whatever I want.
Like, the whole foundation of skateboarding was
do what you want.
To do what you want.
Yeah, and I was like, I love those dudes.
That's what that's how I'm tripping, how the mentality
when Jake Phelps threw a bush in my.
Yeah, man, but catch this whole thing if you guys get a chance. It is on who's this? It's on the X Games. Shout out to X Games. But it's Paul Rodriguez on why skaters are broke. But yeah, especially if you're in hip hop, I think you could just listen to that interview and take out skater and put in, indie artist or underground hip hop artist or hip hop artist, and just and you'll see that it's all the same things. And if you don't know if it's the same thing because maybe you haven't experienced some of those things yet, I'm telling you, it's the same things. I've definitely experienced a lot of those things, and I found it refreshing that I was like, oh, all right, that's cool. That's cool. This dude, he put his time in. He knows both of these cats, and they're both two different generations. That's what was dope about that conversation. Two different generations. Yeah, man. All right, man. I think, what should we do? I'm going to be jumping on a lot, so I'm trying to keep these relatively, well, not too long, under 2 hours at least, but we're at like 1:30 right now. Dang, I got a good list too. I still got a good list. We're going to jump back into some of these. Let me see. Let me check. Let me look at the playlist real quick, just since we're here. You know what I mean? We're here.
Well, the robots have arrived.
We know Flippy. Flippy's all about it. Let me see. Maybe, you know what? I only had a few more. You guys want to see 6 martial artists go all out in intense 15-second fights? I kind of do, but I also want to see. Oh man, there's those. So one of the trends, again, we're talking about like the youth, right? And like, oh, they're not gonna figure it out, or they need to like do what we did, or feel our pain, that kind of thing. One of the things that's happening is like, there's these groups of kids that are like rejecting, phones and social media and all that kind of stuff. Which we could have predicted that, right? That's the part I think we get hung up with, like when there's generational battles. Because the older generation will go like, we saw that coming. And they're not wrong. They did. We saw that coming. I think I said that on podcasts years ago. Like, yeah, for sure. We'll come back to a time and then nobody will want to use phones and blah, blah, blah. And then the kids, because they think, hey, we're rebelling against the time, and this is an original thought, only because they just weren't around to see it happen before, they feel offended because they're like, no, this is our thing. And, so we need to figure out that dialogue a little bit, because it's not to be insulting, but some of these pieces of even revolution, like these kids are doing, they're all right. Just watch
City
it.
officials designated social media a public health hazard earlier this year, and the Adams administration continues to consider banning cell phones in schools. But Hannah Klieger reports some students are trying to beat their own addictive behavior to technology.
All right.
A group of teenagers
right,
are spending time in a park, laughing, crafting, just talking. It's
a park? They're laughing and crafting.
only unusual because there isn't a single smartphone in sight. They're part of a small...
I wonder how they got there. Like, do they live close to the park? Because I think I want to know that. If they didn't live close to the park, did they use a map? Did they put out a map and have to figure out the city? because that would be dope if they did. That would be dope if they did. Like if they were just, now we're all in. You know what I mean? We don't even charge anything. It takes us forever to get anywhere, but
Small but growing group of Brooklyn students who formed the Luddite Club, named after a 19th century movement opposing industrialization.
During COVID, I kind of looked at my screen time and I was like, wow, I'm spending more than half of my time awake on my phone. Something needs.
I wonder how old that girl. I feel like she's probably maybe 14, 15. No, who knows anymore? Look at them. They look like they're all ages at one time, but they're all got to be really young. They look very young. The kid all the way to the left looks like a baby. But I would imagine like the moment, I bet you when she checked her screen time, that was like the first time she ever checked her screen time. You know what I mean? Not to be like she didn't know what she was doing, but I'm saying like, if she's saying like, oh, I spend more than half my time on my phone, but look how young she is. She's probably, when she was born, there was already phones. She probably got a phone as soon as she could probably use one, maybe. And even if she didn't, once she got it, she's just been on it. I bet she could have noticed a year into it and gone, oh, damn, I'm on my phone a lot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's all that is. But I love the sentiment. I think this is stuff we should be rooting on. I don't think, like, if you're these kids' big brothers or sisters, don't be like, what are you, stupid? Like, dude, who cares? Who cares? Who cares? They seem to be all right. Well, they don't, not one of them seems to be smiling. But I don't think that's their thing anymore, by the way. We'll talk about that on another show.
The group gathers in Prospect Park every Sunday. It was formed at Brooklyn's Edward R. Murrow High School and has since expanded to other schools.
Like, did they actually like squeeze to eliminate?
Amanda Hannah McClear was a teacher at Murrow when she began to notice how many of her students were struggling with tech addiction.
That's another thing too. Like, because they're so young, is like the phone the only evil tech they see, or are they like can openers suck too? Because I'm pretty, and I'm not even, it's not a diss to them. I'm pretty sure like if it came up like at our time, like when I was young, there wasn't a whole lot of choices to hate on technology. Like we hate cars, like, you know, which we did. I think we did that. I think our generation did that for sure. There was a like, we're gonna walk. We're just gonna ride bikes. But I think that's good because what it's doing is carving out here. This is what we talked about. The world is carving these kids out. So when we're like worried about like what's going to happen, man, if you're going to be around to see it, you should probably be worrying about what you're going to do because you're not changing at all. They're going with the flow. Like you're like, no, put the brakes on. Stop them at all costs. They're not using phones anymore. Imagine when like it gets to the point because like the parents all used phones and are so attached to their phones. Imagine when it gets to the points when they're like, no, you're going to get a phone. I don't want a phone, Mom. No, you're getting a phone. I don't care. You're getting a phone and you better use it.
Well, I had been called a Luddite for years. And
a Luddite. A Luddite. That's going to be my new thing. Luddite.
Well, I had been called a Luddite for years, and it was not used in a positive way. It was very
all right,
much derogatory. Luddites are often seen as anti-progress, backwards.
What is a Luddite?
No, someone who is against the abuse, not the use of technology.
One day, a student named Ava Dela Cruz showed her videos of her weekly gatherings with Luddite friends.
She even had like the old camcorder. That's what I'm saying. I think maybe to them, they're like, well, that's on tape. Tape is nice. It's not hard drive bad. Tape nice. Tape nice. Hold on.
Was formed at Brooklyn's Edward R. Murrow with tech addiction.
Are often seen.
Pandemic.
Bro, now I'm suddenly in high school and I'm about to be in college, and my life basically, I feel like it escaped me.
My bust. Ava Dela Cruz. Respect. I said I'm using pronouns. I don't even know take it all back. Have no idea.
Completely.
They have different interests, attend different schools, but share their commitment to kick their phone habit. McClear was so inspired by their self-awareness that she quit her teaching job and
What? What? She quit her teaching job?
jumped headfirst into making a documentary about them.
Okay. All right, kids, let me explain something to you. Because you guys are still kids. It's important you hear this. Your teacher never wanted to be no teacher, man. She was just waiting. The artist in her was trying to get out, and you guys just served her a topic. Bravo to all of you. A bravo to you, Teach, for quitting that stupid job you never wanted to work in the first place. But blessings, it got you to these kids.
Produced by Dela Cruz.
When there's no phones around at a Sunday meeting, they are.
Let's hear her pitch. Let's see if we'll be able to tell right now and how she says this if she's like, oh, she thinks about this stuff. Like she knew she was going to be interviewed one day about one of her films. Let's hear.
Drawing, painting, singing, dancing, writing. They do everything that teens should be doing.
They hope to release the film next year, but also launched a scavenger hunt featuring landmark Brooklyn institutions as a way to get young people to put their phones down and spend some time.
Okay. Again, I know that's been done. I know that's been done before. So I'm not talking to the kids. The kids do that stuff. Do all that stuff. Figure it out for yourselves. But all you hating ass big brothers and parents, man, you guys did the same dumb. You did the same stuff. You did the same stuff. And just because they're not doing your same stuff, you know exactly how you did it, doesn't mean that they're not going to be all right. They're going to be all right. And trust me, life's got it coming for everybody.
Together, at least for a while. In Brooklyn, Hannah Klieger, CBS News, New York.
Hannah Klieger,
according to
what's
the
up?
program for.
But yeah, there you go. We'll end on that. That's a good place to end. The future. The future is good. The future is safe. We are the future. God bless America. The future is, all that good stuff. Man, thanks for hanging out with me. Those of you who did. We're just hanging out. Invisible Panchos on everything, invisiblepanchos.com. Find our music. You can find our videos right here on YouTube. Gene, I've been talking to Gene again about doing like dual streaming stuff. There's a bunch of stuff we want to do. Me and Gene game it up every once in a while. Believe it or not, kids, you guys didn't invent the video game. But yeah, we game it up. So maybe Kick, maybe one of these other things. No offense, YouTube. But we also need, you know what I mean? Like, the kids can't hang out at everything, you know what I mean? And YouTube, you know. Who knows how many times this video got banned just in the fair weather conversation topics we had today. So, yeah, come back. I'm just going to be doing, I decided probably yesterday that I was going to go live today. I'm deciding right now in my head, do I want to go live again? I feel like Gene wants to go live soon. But we're all about the lives right now. I'm with it. I'm all about the lives right now. So tune in, send me videos. Especially if you guys come across some like interesting things, send me that stuff. Man. Because I find a lot of the stuff scrolling through your guys' stuff. The people who follow the Invisible Panchos, we try to follow back. If we didn't follow back, tell us. We'll follow back. Maybe we're just like, they don't want us to follow back. We went, like that dispatcher. Okay. Classic. Somebody clip that for me. I need Gene Flow to clip that so I can play it. Okay. All right, guys. We'll see you guys next time. Chrissy's the internet. Again, subscribe. Turn on your alerts. We're building this. Chipping away. Step by step. All that good stuff, man. We'll see you guys next time.